Oh, so there, we're live. I kind of hope that James is going to come. Yeah, his interest in film is growing deeper day by day. I think he's got about 6 or 7 film cameras now.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
it's a little late there for him. Yeah, I think 11:30 or so.
He's been going crazy with his purchases, you know. So anyways, what we'll talk about today is we're going to go over what's needed for processing the easy way. And that'll apply to everybody except for Sherry, because she's going to go with a different style of tank and chemistry.
Are you going to do a dark room on them?
What?
Are you going to do a dark room on them?
No.
What are you going to take them through? Traditional?
Loading the tanks.
Oh. That should take you about 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah, not too long, but I'm going to show you a bunch of different tanks.
Because I was going to leave the room.
Oh, well, I was going to do that 1500 tank that you were asking about.
Okay. Anything to tease me to stay, huh?
Yeah. So anyways, what we're going to talk about is the equipment that you need for basic film processing and how to use some of it, okay? This will be a multi-part series. And mainly we're going to be talking about 120 film. Okay. 120 film. But we're also going to touch on 35 because one of the reels I'm going to show you is about 35. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's been a long time since I've messed with 35.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've got it, but I don't use it too often. So anyways, the basic tools that we need, first and foremost, is you have to have, I'm going to get up and move away from the computer because this is a large bag.
That's the one I have.
Right, now this is just a very inexpensive dark bag. And it has arms that you put your hands into with elastic around it on each side. And then the bag opens up. There's a zipper on the bottom of it. And you put your film, your tools, your tanks, your reels, and your lids in here. And you're going to load the reels, place them in the tank. Okay. And this is just one style of a dark bag. Okay. And because of that, I'm going to share something with you here real quick. Let me share my desktop. Okay, you got my desktop?
Yep.
All right. This is the bag that I showed you. Okay. It was a 17 by 17 inch bag, and it's $29.
So it's a small changing bag.
It's a small changing bag.
Okay.
I have a couple of these around that I will throw in a suitcase when I travel. Okay. And then this is my main bag that I use. This is a PhotoFlex film changing bag, and it's like one of those pop-up tents. It has spring steel inside of it, and it folds flat like a big Frisbee. But when you take it out and shake it, up it pops. And because it's got the steel supports inside the tent, then you're not constantly working against the tent laying down against your work area, which can be a pain.
Yeah.
So I have one of these over at my studio, and I have one of these that I have for travel. Now, the reason I have a changing bag for travel is because I will sometimes shoot 4x5. Okay. And for that, then I have to load and unload film holders. I only have so many film holders, okay? And what that causes is I can shoot like 12 shots before my film in the film holders are used, because each film holder has two sides. So I have to take a dark tint and light tight bags to take the exposed film out of my film holders and then load fresh film in them. And you need a dark bag for that too. Otherwise, I use that the tint with the pop-up sides. It's just, I find it easier. Okay. All right. Then the next thing that you're going to need is and I know that you've got all of this. You're going to need a tank. Now, I highly recommend the stainless steel tanks. They cost a little bit more than the plastic tanks. They're easier to use. They're tighter. This is the rubber lid that goes on the plastic tank, and it compresses onto the tank so that it's light tight and watertight around here. And then it has a little rubber cap that goes over this. And once you've got your film loaded into the tank, then you can take it out into the daylight. And you pour the chemistry in through this hole in the top and you drain it out, okay? These can be found very, very inexpensive on B&H. And this size holds one 120 reel, or two 35 millimeter reels. This side holds two 120 reels or four 35 millimeter reels. Okay. I use both, but when I develop my film, the more film you can develop at once, the longer you're going to make your chemistry last. Okay. So these are the tanks. All right. Then there is another kind of tank. This is a Jobo tank. You can buy these all over the place. They're called JOBO. This is the 1500 series tank. Okay. It has a snap-off lid. You place it on it, and then you pull down on this ring, and it seals it. And then it has a little pull-off watertight cap so that when you're agitating, the liquid stays inside the tank. You can use these for hand agitation, or there's a big magnet on here, and it'll go into a Jobo automatic agitation machine where it rotates it one way and then another in a water bath to keep the tank and the chemistry inside the tank at a constant temperature. But nobody's going to buy one of those because they're god-awful expensive and they're not that good, okay? Okay. Now, for 120 and 35 millimeter film, I prefer the Hughes stainless steel ring or stainless steel reels. All right. They are incredibly simple to load, easy to load, and you make very, very few mistakes. This is the 120, and this is the 35. Now, I'm going to show you the inside of the 35. You see these little tabs sticking up?
Yeah.
Those tabs go into the sprocket holes of 35 millimeter film.
Right.
And that holds the film in the reel. And I'll show you that in a little while, okay? On the 120, there's no sprocket holes. So what they have is they have this little clamp. You push down on this, and it opens a space right through here that you insert the film in, and then you let go of it, and it holds it in place. And then I'll show you how to wrap the film on.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like I didn't need the other little camera after all, since you can see this on the main camera. Now, for the Jobo tanks, this is a series 1500 reel. When it's in the 120 mode, it's got a little snap twist here, right here. See this? If I snap it down, you can take it apart. And then what you do is you snap it into the 35 millimeter size, okay? Or you snap it into the 120 size. It will hold one 35 millimeter roll, or it will hold two 120 rolls. And this little red latch right here, this separates the two 120 rolls so that you don't overlap them when you're loading them.
Oh.
Now, I've gotten used to loading this. It took a while for me to master it. This is the reel that my Filmomat, my automatic processor, uses, and this is the only reel it will use. So I had to learn how to use these. It's not that hard, actually. If you look at the end of the reel where the clip is, and you come around to here, there is on the inside, let me see if I can turn this so that you can see it. There is a film slot. There you can see it right there. See it?
Yep.
That the film goes into, and you can actually push it onto the reel. But you also can hold it, and with your thumbs, you place your thumbs on the film when you don't want the film to move, okay? If you want to start winding the film on, you take one finger off and rotate that side. Then you put your thumb here and you rotate this side. And then you put your thumb here and you rotate this side, okay? And it will wind the film on. There are much easier plastic reels to load with this. There are those that have little clutches, little ball bearings built into them. And once you get the film pushed by those little ball bearings, you just hold it and do this. And the ball bearings wind the film on as you twist it like this. Okay? But these are widely used, mostly in the professional markets. And like I said, they'll hold two rolls at once. Okay? I have to use them because of the film processor. If you don't have to use them, this is the way to go. Now, Sherry, are you still there?
Yep.
Sherry is using, well, she is going to be using a new film tank that's just coming on the market, where for 120, it will load it totally in daylight. Okay, it's an amazing thing, but it'll only hold one roll of film, and it's a constant agitation tank, meaning it has a hand crank that you have to turn. So that's going to affect your development time, but that's no big deal. You're going to reduce it by about 30%. Okay. I've got a couple of them on order to try. But like I said, these are my absolute favorite. I don't mind pouring my chemistry into it and then draining it out. These work exceptionally well. Okay. We'll come back to all of that, okay? Another thing I want to talk about real quick now is the film itself. There are lots of films out there. So what are we going to shoot? Are we mainly going to shoot black and white film?
Me, probably.
How about you, Bobby?
Yes.
No color, anybody?
Okay.
Well, only because I have a couple rolls that are color that's been sitting in my refrigerator forever.
Okay. Yeah, but you're not going to process those. You're going to send those off to a lab.
Goes off to what you call it.
Okay.
I might take it here locally because there seems to be a good camera store here.
Okay. So different black and white films. There's a lot of them. Let me see here. I am looking. Oh, there it is. Of course, the emulsions are different. They're going to give you different styles of image. Some are grainy, some have low grain, some have high contrast, some have low contrast, some have high sharpness, some have low sharpness, some have high acutance, some have low acutance. What that is acutance is the definition of the sharpness of the edge of the film grain of the silver particles that are in the emulsion. You can have high accutance, which makes the film seem sharper, when in fact it's not. Okay, hold that thought. I'm going to turn on, there's a TV on. We do not need to have that in the background, do we?
No.
Is that a little better?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about some black and white film. Sherry, what do you like?
That Tmax.
Tmax.
Good. I have to go look in the refrigerator and tell you the other one I like.
All right, well, let's talk about these films.
And I've got one that I'm going to experiment with.
Okay, this is Kodak Tmax. It comes in 100 ISO, and it comes in 400 ISO. Okay.
Doesn't it also come in 800?
You might still be able to find it. You might.
Okay.
All right. The thing about Tmax is Kodak's T-grain film emulsion. So instead of little round...
I'm stepping away for a minute. Sorry.
All right. Instead of little round grains of silver, they're long and rectangular, and it gives higher sharpness, lower grain, higher contrast. I like the Tmax films. If I'm shooting in a darker scene, I will load the 400. It's slightly grainier than the 100, but not by much.
Okay.
Easy to develop. But having said that, there's a secondary consideration when you choose a film, and that is the thickness of the film base.
Okay.
Some films are very thin and very pliable and extremely hard to load in the tanks. They're hard to handle. They're easy to damage. Okay. Tmax has a very thick.
I'm back. Sorry.
Film base, so it's very easy to load in your camera and in your reels. Okay. And I like them both. I also really like, okay, beyond words, Ilford's FP4 Plus.
Yeah.
In fact, I like it so much, I'm not going to destroy a roll to show it to you.
That's okay.
Right.
I've seen a lot of videos on the Ilford, and it's people either love it, or they're either like Kodak and the Tmax, or they are Ilford. It's one or the other.
Here's what I have.
What? And just read it to me.
It's Ilford Pan F.
Okay,
Plus.
that is a way out of date film.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
I am so looking forward to that.
All right.
And it's a 120 and it's a 50.
Okay. The Ilford FP4 Plus is 125 ISO.
Wow.
And it has a medium to heavy film base, so it too is very easy to load. All right.
Love my Ilford.
All right. I really, really love the Ilford FP4. I'm not so crazy about their T-grain, which is their Delta films. If I'm going to shoot T-grain, I'll shoot the real thing. I'll shoot the Kodak.
Yeah.
Okay. All of these films that we're discussing, you can get in 35, 120, 4x5, and usually 5x7, sometimes 8x10.
Wow.
Now the Tmax, as far as I know, you can only get it up to 4x5. The Ilford, you can go all the way up to 8x10.
Wow.
Okay. So they're very, very good films. And like I said, I do like the T-grain, the Tmax 100 and the 400. But I find that my go-to film now all the time is the FP4 Plus. It is just simply amazing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of other films out there in the market. There's craft films, designer films that companies are making, and they all are good and they all have a place. But I've settled on these two,
Mm-hmm.
along with occasionally an infrared film.
Huh.
There's an infrared film called Rolly IR 400.
Mm-hmm.
And if you load it in your camera and shoot it without any filtration, it has a very, very similar look. Not to Tmax. Oh, shoot. What is that other film? Tri-X. To Kodak's Tri-X film. Very, very similar, but it has a very thin film base, so it's easily damaged.
Hi, I'm back.
Hi.
Are we still talking about film?
We are. We're talking about one last film, the Rolly IR 400, which is a nice.
Is that what you have?
Pardon?
I said Rolly.
Rolly.
Is what you have?
IR 400.
I bought that new Forma pan.
Mm-hmm.
And tell you what else I have that I used to like. That this one. I'll show you. I'm cooking. That's why I keep walking away, and I apologize.
Okay.
To Bobby for that.
All right. Well, I just want to touch on this IR. Like I said, it shoots almost the same as Tri-X without any filtration.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put a 720 nanometer filter on it, you're going to get 720 nanometer infrared out of it. Now, the base ISO on it's 400, so it's a fast film.
Which one are you talking about?
The IR film, the IR 400.
Okay.
But when you put the 720 nanometer filter on it, you're going to lower the ISO to either 12 or 6, depending upon the scene, because you lose a lot of light because of that filter. And you are going to get wonderful IR black and white images. And all three of these films, all three of them, the IR 400, the Tmax films, the Ilford films, they can all be developed with what we're going to talk about next. Okay. Even if you want to try Tri-X, which is a great film, it's all the same as far as processing. Okay, so let's talk about chemistry for just a second. Now, in the most simplistic terms for development, keeping it as simple as possible, they sell something called a one-shot developer. Okay, and what it does is it mixes the developer and the fixing agent in the same bottle. And when you pour the chemistry into the developing tank, the developer acts first, and as it starts to wear out, then the fix starts to work. All right, and then you simply pour it out, and then you put your film through the rinse phase.
But does that process take? Does it decrease any time, or is it just combine the chemistry?
It just combines the chemistry during one time. Now, they want you to process it hotter.
Wow.
Okay. But, that's not so hard to do. Okay, because we can control the temperature of our chemistry. We just have to have a thermometer, okay?
Yep, got one.
Okay. Some of these new film tanks have thermometers built into them.
Nice.
All right. And I have used these single chemical developer and fixer, and they worked okay. They smell horrible.
Yeah.
All right, but they work okay. They don't work as well as using a standard developer and fixer. Okay, they just don't, but they're good enough. All right, for most people. So basic black and white film processor. It's simplistic with different chemicals. A developer.
Mm-hmm.
A water bath to stop the development.
Mm-hmm.
A fixer. Okay, to remove the unused silver, the unexposed silver. A water bath.
Mm-hmm.
A long water bath. All right. Then a rinse with a flow agent, like it's called a photo flow.
Yeah.
And generally that's going to be a tank full of distilled water and 3 drops of the photo flow solution. 3 drops per roll of film in that tank.
Yeah, that's why that bottle will last forever, right?
It will last. I've had a bottle for 20 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, some people use what's known as a stop bath rather than a water bath between the developer and the fixer.
Mm-hmm.
It instantly stops development. The water baths between them, it will stop it, but it'll take 2 or 3 water baths. You know, filling it up, shaking it, and pouring it out. Filling it up, shaking it, and pouring it out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then they also have a bath after the fixer that removes most of the fixing agent, and it's called a hypo wash.
Forgot about that one.
But you don't have to have it. If you have a hypo wash, then you use a running water bath for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't use a hypo wash, then you're going to use a running water bath for 20 or 30 minutes.
Wow.
Okay. The hypo wash helps speed up the process.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And a 1 liter of hypo wash will last you a long time because it's usually mixed around a 20-to-1 ratio with water. Okay.
Yep.
So it will last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the film's only going to be in the hypo wash for about 2 minutes.
Wow, it's pretty quick.
Yeah. So it will cut down on that long rinse at the end.
Right. Sure.
All right. And that rinse at the end, that's important because if you don't get all of the fix out of the film emulsion,
Mm-hmm.
then it will degrade over time. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the basic chemistry. I don't care what kind of a fix you use, what kind of a hypo wash you use, they all work. Ilford has a new fix. And
Is that the all-in-one? Isn't there all-in-one that they have now?
No. They have this new fix that only needs a 10-minute wash afterwards. FE3 or something like that.
I think when you were sending me the list of things, I want to say it wasn't all in one kind of a thing.
Well,
I don't know. I have to look at it.
No, it was just a fix.
Mm-hmm.
But you mix that up in stock. You take the fixer from the bottle, and then you mix it with 3 parts of water.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put that in your storage bottle, and that'll last for months.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it will fix in 3 or 4 minutes instead of the normal 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And the water bath can be cut down to 10 minutes instead of the 20 or 30.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And let me go get that. I mean, I might as well give it to you while I'm. Let's see here. www.vh.
No, go grab stuff while you're doing that.
Go ahead.
Send me the list as well.
Okay.
When you have time.
Okay, here. It is not the rapid fixer. Dang it.
No, that's right. That's the TF4.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, that's this one right here. And then.
Yeah, go ahead and show that to Sherry. Hold that up.
Sure. Let's see.
Okay, let me click on and see what you got.
Sure.
I need a new mouse, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And another thing, when you're fixing the Kodak Tmax films, the base has a magenta color to it. The TF4 is designed to remove that magenta. The other
So you
ones
don't have that cast anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Now let's talk about the developers. There's a zillion developers out there, and you guys will find what you like.
Right.
And I've tried.
People like tall stuff.
Yes, I've tried a bunch of them. Rodinal is a film that is a developer that goes back to the early 1900s. It has a shelf life in the bottle of about 100 years.
Wow.
Okay. The older it is, the darker it gets, but it doesn't affect how it works. And 1 liter bottle will last you your lifetime because you're mixing it with water. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, or 1 to 100.
Wow.
1 to 25, 1 to 50. Those are going to be the common ones, the 1 to 25 and the 1 to 50, or the 1 to 100s. The thing about the Rodinal, and it's called stand processing. What you do is you put your film in the can. You mix your Rodinal with water, 1 to 100, 1 part Rodinal to 100 parts of water. And for that, you'll need a syringe because it's not very much Rodinal. You pour the developer in the can. You invert it 3 or 4 times. You bang it on the table to release the bubbles off the surface of the film, and you walk away for an hour. You come back, you pour it out, you fix it. It's done. It doesn't care about temperature. It doesn't care about ISO. Okay. If you accidentally shoot your film at the wrong ISO, use stand processing with a bottle with Rodinal. It doesn't care, and it will work. I didn't have too good of luck with normal stand processing. I was starting to get black lines going down from the edges of my negative, and that's something called bromide drag from the fixer, or from the developer losing its ability to develop, and then the bromides in the film tend to go down the side of the film. All right, so they have another stand process called semi-stand, and with that I don't get the bromide drag. Same thing, 1 to 100, pour it in there, invert 3 or 4 times, bang it, and walk away for 30 minutes. At 30 minutes, come back and do 5 inversions. Bang it and walk away for the last 30 minutes. And you don't have the bromide drag problem.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, I like that one too. And it's fun to experiment with because, like I said, it doesn't care what black and white film type. It doesn't care about the ISO, and it doesn't give 2 hoots about the temperature of the chemistry. And they sell little 2-ounce bottles of Rodinal, so you can travel with it. Okay. And it works. It works really, really great. But of course, you have to be able to give it that hour. Okay. So I keep Rodinal. I bought a case of it about 10 years ago. I still have a case of it. I opened one bottle and I barely use this much out of the bottle because it takes so little. And it's got a shelf life of 100 years. So I'm
Christmas gifts.
No, you just never know. Civilization might fail and I'll still have developer.
Ah.
Okay. Okay. The next developer I want to talk about is called Perceptol. This is an Ilford developer. This works wonderfully as well. It's a 2-part mix. And the only rule when you're mixing the powder is you have to mix part A in water that's about 107 degrees. That's just hot tap water. Okay. And you stir it until it's all mixed in. And then you take the second envelope and you mix it in slowly, and it's going to change the color to clear. Okay.
Too much work.
And when that's done, you put it in a liter bottle. This will make 1 liter. This costs $7 a box. Okay. And you say to yourself, well, 1 liter is not a lot of developer, is it? But with this, you can do you can use it in stock, or you mix it with water, 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. Okay, so if you mix it 1 to 2, all of a sudden you've got 2 liters of the developer. Okay, and when you use it 1 to 2, it's a one-shot developer, meaning you use it once and you throw it away. Okay, but you use it in a tank with 2 120 rolls. Okay, and that's 1 liter of fluid. All right.
So you're still getting your 2 rolls out of it.
You still get your 2 rolls out of it. Okay, and it's a nice developer. It works very well. In fact, it has some idiosyncrasies that work to your benefit. If you lower the ISO of your film by 1 stop, okay, so if you're using a 100 ISO film and change it to 50, all right, and then use Perceptol, you get extreme sharpness and high contrast. They are stunning negatives. Okay.
Do you find you get that only with that Ilford, or do you get that with the Xtol too?
No. That is a characteristic of the Ilford Perceptol developer.
Okay.
I keep about 10 boxes of this in the studio.
So the trade-off is just the quantity of the film basically that you can develop. So you get 2 rolls out of a liter, or you can get 5 gallons or 5 liters, whatever it is, of this, and get a lot more.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, and then that takes us to the next developer. You recognize this.
Yeah.
This is Kodak Expo. This stuff is amazing. This cost at B&H, it cost $11 a pack. This makes 5 liters of stock developer. Now you can use this 1 to 1 with water or 1 to 2 with water. But when you do, it becomes 1 shot. But if you do it 1 to 2, all of a sudden you have 10 liters of it. Okay. I use it. Oh God, I use this so many ways. I use it 1 to 1. And when you use it 1 to 1, it's not 1 shot. You can use it multiple times.
Right.
Question is, how do you decide which one you're going to use?
Say that again, Sherry.
How do you decide which one you want to use?
This is the one I use 99.9% of the time.
So when do you decide you want to go to the Ilford?
If I'm looking for a really, really high contrast image, I will go with the Ilford.
Okay, so I like high contrast. So I probably would do the Ilford more than not.
Both of them are great. What's great about this is it makes 5 liters that lasts 6 months.
So getting both will work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this again mixes the same way as the Ilford. You have to have a 5-liter bottle.
That one is X-Tall, right?
What?
Which one is that last one?
That was the X-Tall.
Okay. This is the X-Tall, and the other one's Perceptol. The X-Tall is Kodak. Okay. And the Perceptol is Ilford.
Yep.
Okay, let me show you one other thing. Why am I not seeing what I want? Okay. Okay, Sherry?
Yes.
Here are the Jobo tanks. And as you can see, they are very expensive. Okay. Stay away from the Yankee Clippers.
But I'm not, oh, I didn't click on it. No wonder I didn't know what you were doing. Click there. Okay. I think I have to go through the boxes I have. I have tons of tanks and stuff. So I have to pull out and see what I have and supplement it.
There we go. This is what I wanted to show you. See this tank?
I'm not seeing a tank.
You have to click on the link.
What link?
The one with my face on it.
Your face is on it. I don't see a tank.
You guys aren't seeing this?
I just see your glasses and your nose and your forehead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Me bad. I have to share the screen.
Is that it?
Yeah. You have to forgive me. It has been a long day. Okay, these are called the floating lid tanks. There's a floating lid inside this tank, and then there's this top lid. And as the chemistry goes down, the lid goes down and it keeps the oxygen from touching the chemistry, so it lasts longer. Okay. And these come in 2 and 3 gallon tanks. All right. And you just need enough to hold 5 liters.
So one of those will work fine.
Yeah.
One of these work with the X-Tall just fine.
Okay.
Also, some of the big bottles of tea that you can buy in the store come in 5-liter bottles too. Okay.
I'll just order one. I don't want to have someone think it's tea and eat it, drink it. I wouldn't put it past anybody in my house.
Okay. It cost about $25 for enough to hold the 5 liters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I should be back now.
You are.
Okay. I really like this X-Tall. I use it for all of my black and white films. Depending on the film, I might change the water ratio with it. Okay. This is just it gives such wonderful results in black and white that I cannot stress how good it is. $11 for 5 liters. If you mix it 1-to-1, you've got 10 liters. But you only mix it with the water when you're going to use it. you mix this according to the instructions on the back of it, and it's called a stock solution. That is what goes into your floating lid tank, 3 liters or 5 liters. Okay. Okay.
So you wrote a manual, right?
What?
I said you wrote a step-by-step manual, right?
Oh yeah, sure I did.
Yeah, you did.
That's why we're recording this. Okay, let's talk about film for a minute. Okay, and our reels. We're going to talk about 35 millimeter film. Now, if you're real careful when you shoot 35 millimeter and you're winding the film back into the canister, you don't wind it all the way in so it's sucked inside it.
Right.
But if you do, they make special devices to go inside and grab the film and bring them out. All right. But if you don't take it all the way back in, then it makes it much easier. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this off.
Yep.
Are we going to show how to roll it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll walk away.
Like this. And then you're going to cut on the corner a slight angle off. Okay, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to take this and your film reel, and you're going to locate, let me turn this on. You're going to locate these little tabs that are sticking up. Let me see if I can turn this so you can see them. Oh, there you can see them, see? And you notice the tabs are leaning to one direction. You turn it so that those tabs are facing away from you. They're leaning away from you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the film, you're going to put the tabs through the first 2 holes. All right. And you're going to practice this in the light, and you're going to practice it in the dark with your eyes closed. Once you have that on, you put your finger on here and hold the film, start to take it out of the reel, and you're going to roll the film slightly. You're going to see how I'm slightly bending it. And then you're simply going to start rolling it on the reel. Just like that. Okay? And once you get it rolled on a time or two, you'll feel that you can move it back and forth slightly. See it? You can feel it moving. So you know that you're fully engaging the roll of the tank, and you're going to go on and on and on and go around and around and around and take the film all the way out. Okay, and when you get to the end, you cut it off, but leave a little film on the end of the tank like that. Okay, because if you like 35 millimeter and that you find that you like one particular film, you can buy that film in 100-foot rolls, and you can reload with a simple device. You can reload the film into these cans without having a dark tank.
It has been a long time, but I learned how to do that a long time ago. Load my own film and unload it and do it all in the dark.
Yep, and you're simply going to tape the film to this and then load it into the film loader, and you're going to wind a whole new roll of film in this can. Okay. Okay? Okay, so now let's take a look. I know that none of us are going to do 35 millimeter, but I just wanted to show you that.
I may.
Okay, you can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, now when we load the 120 film into our camera, some films, the Ilford and the Fuji films, have a pull strap to remove this tape. The Kodak films don't, so I just take a knife and I go along and cut the tape. Okay, take this off because you don't want that getting in your camera, and then load it into your camera. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen is it's going to do this inside the camera. It's going to take it off of the feed reel, the feed roller, and it's going to wind it up onto the take-up roller that's inside the camera. So in effect, this is what it's doing inside the camera as you're taking the pictures.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason I'm doing this by hand is because you want to see how this comes out of the camera. Okay. So this wraps around it on the reel, and then it has a piece of a sticky tape that you lick, and you go around it, and it's going to stick to itself.
Right.
And when you unload the camera, this is basically what you're going to get. Okay. So you're going to take that roll of film, and you're going to take your knife before you put it in your dark tint, and you're going to cut 3/4 of that piece of tape that's got the sticky licky on it.
Yeah.
Down, because you don't want to be fumbling with trying to break that. So cut it 3/4 of the way down. Then put the film in your dark tint. Put your tank in the dark tint. Don't forget the lid. Okay. And put your reel in the dark tint.
Don't forget that.
Seal up the dark tint. Get your hands put into the sleeves. And that's why you're going to practice this in daylight. You're going to destroy a roll, so you have a practice roll. Okay. So here's what you do in that dark tint. Okay. You're taking it off the roll like this. And you're going to put your fingers here in the corner. Okay. Like this. And as it comes off, see what is happening? The film's coming off the paper and it's rolling up in my fist. Okay. And then you're going to come to a piece of tape. And you just simply tear it off. And then you're going to tear it off the end of the film. You don't want this. But you want that tape that's on the end of the film if you're using a metal reel. All right. So then you're going to look at your metal reel. And remember, we have this push down button. And we push it down. Do you see how it opens up the spring from this piece of metal here?
Yeah.
We're going to clamp the film in there like that. So where it's going to open up, right there, we're going to turn that, put our thumb on the spring, and face that opening to our face. And we're going to take the end of the film, and we are going to place it. Let me see if I can do this so that you can see. We're going to push down on that spring, and we're going to push it in there and then let up on the spring.
Right.
All right. So this is what we have. See, this part's under the spring. And we want this to be straight. Now, it's dark, so what you do is you just simply put your finger on here and you run it across and make sure that it feels straight. Because if it's not straight, you're going to have trouble loading the film.
Okay.
And then we simply go out, and we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put my finger under the film here. I'm going to push out so that it's concave now. And I'm going to take my finger out, and I'm just going to simply squeeze this film, slight concave. Okay, and I'm going to roll it onto the film.
Right.
So let me do this real quick. And you only have to do this 2 or 3 times in the daylight till you can do this blindfolded all the time. Okay.
Yep.
Easy. This is the easiest loading film reel on the market. Now, there's another reason to go with these steel reels. The plastic reels load real easy too. But if they're damp, that film's not going to go on it. Not at all. With this, they will, because we're bending that film as we roll it around there. If you go on YouTube, you will find all kinds of videos on how to do this. And just look up loading 120 film on a Hughes reel.
Yeah.
And it's just that easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put it into your tank. You're going to put the lid on tightly because it goes on tight. You want to make sure that it's all the way down before you bring this out of the dark tank or out of the dark tent. Mm-hmm. Because I've not paid attention and I've had this lid come off.
Oh no. Yeah.
And you can kiss your film goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, you can kiss that film goodbye. Okay. Now, we'll do another one where we actually develop the films. We'll do that in my studio.
Okay.
All right, we'll do a hangout there. But when it tells you to do inversions, it's going to tell you to do slow inversions for the first minute. Mm-hmm. And this is an inversion.
Yeah.
Twist, come back. Twist, come back. Slowly, evenly, not this.
Right.
You want an even flow of film, an even flow of chemistry over the film. Now, Sherry, for you, you'll be using a hand crank unless you use one of these for a while, which you might actually find you enjoy more. Okay, so it's always going to be slow inversions for the first minute.
Yeah, I'll probably use those for a while.
Okay, all right, and then you tap it to get the air bubbles off, and you set it down until the next minute comes up, and then it's going to be slow inversion for 10 seconds. And what I want you to do there is just simply 4 inversions: twist, invert, twist, invert, twist, and I want you to do that 4 times. Tap it again, okay? Mm-hmm. And then when you're done, depending on what chemistry you use and how you dilute it with water, you're either going to pour this into a separate storage tank, mm-hmm. Okay? So have a 1 liter bottle for use developer that you're going to use the very next time. And get a grease pencil, and every time you use it, put a mark on the bottle so that you know that when you use it with 1 mark on it, the next you're going to pour it out then. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is so easy. This is very Zen-like. I mean, I can just close my eyes, get in here, and do this. All right? Mm-hmm. Easy to do. Let me show you something. I'm going to stop this.
No sound.
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
We can't hear you, Mark.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. You look like a bad Bruce Lee movie.
Up here. There. Yeah, see, I was actually talking through the phone. Okay. Sherry, I don't know if I've told you this. No, I know Bobby has. There is an app that you need to get called Massive Developing Chart, Massive Dev.
Text it to me.
MASSIVED.
That's not texting, that's spelling. Because I'll forget when I come back to do that this evening. What was the name of that?
Okay, I will do this for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I need more. I need a list. Brain doesn't hold it all.
Okay. That's the app you want. Okay, this has all of your recipes for all of your films. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start it. It's from a company called Digital Truth. Okay, And you can pick films and developers out and put them on your screen.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get back here to my times. Okay. So here I've got my times. These are ones that I've gone in and I've pulled out of its database. So if I go to Kodak, Tmax, and Xtol in 120 film format, it says Xtol 1:1. That means I'm going to mix 1 part of Xtol to 1 part of water. Okay.
See that?
And then it says I'm going to process it for 10 minutes at 20 degrees C, which is basically room temperature. Okay, with an air conditioner running. If it's going to be hotter than that, say if it's going to be 22, 23, 24 degrees, you can click on the edit button up here, and then you can touch on the time, or you can touch on the temperature, and then you can change the temperature down here on the bottom, and it will tell you the new time because it's all temperature based, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this has got all of the films in the world on it. All of the developers. You'll find Xtol, you'll find Perceptol, you'll find Rodinol. Oh, by the way, the version of Rodinol that I was talking about is called R09. Rodinol R09, that's the one you want if you want to get a bottle of that just to have. Okay. And once you start this, it's got timers and alarms. And when it's time to start agitating, it's going to go beep, beep, beep during the agitation time. When you finish a stage, like you finish the developer, it's going to go ding, and then you're going to pour out your chemistry, and then you go down and you start the next one by just touching it, and it'll start the fixer timing, and on and on and on till you're through. This is great. This is life-saving and labor-saving.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk about another developing. Let me pull this out of here. Oh, and when you take it out of the tank, you don't have to pull it out. You go. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when we're processing on the Jobo, are you here still here, Sherry?
Yep.
When we're going to use the Jobo 1500 reel, we want to reverse the film so that the tape edge goes in last. So we're going to take it.
In the dark, we do this.
Huh?
So in the dark, we do this.
Yeah, we do it in the dark. So now I have a clean edge. Okay, now with this, if we're using this, you got to pull this tab out. Okay, and then just turn it to the side. Okay. And if you look at the tab and come this way, feel your way as we come around on the inside, you're going to find, here we go, here's the tab. I come around, and on the inside, I feel the entrance hole right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right there. Okay. And we're going to take that flat edge, and you're going to learn to do this in the dark. Okay. And we're going to drag it along the top. And it's going to click when it goes down into the channel. Hear that? Okay, and when it's in the channel, oh, and you got to make sure that these are straight and they're aligned.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
If it's not straight and not aligned, you're in trouble.
And then we simply, hold on. We simply can push it in, okay, like this. Oh, I didn't have it in enough. And you can get used to doing this in the dark. It took me about loading this 30 times till I got it. Okay? And then you can just simply push it in. And if you find that the edge of the film catches, you can shake it. And if it still catches, then you can go here and you can do the manual thing. And you'll feel it catching it right here. See, this is out. See? So it's catching there. All right. So you've got to get past that. And there we go. Okay. And once in a while, it's going to catch. Now, if you find that you're getting catches all the time, switch to this mode. And if that still doesn't work, then you can also do what we did with the 35mm film. Take a pair of scissors and put your finger on the edge and take off a little tiny corner. Okay. Like that. And then we're just going to do it again. And if you're going to handle this film, especially in the emulsion side, you might want to put on some white linen gloves. Okay.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And like I said, these are more difficult, but you can get used to them. You can also, if you pull this out, you can pull it on by putting your fingers in here. But I just find it easier to push it on. Okay. There we go. And you can do this too. Like I said, hold that side you're turning. So I'm taking my fingers up, down, up. And I got to pull some more film out. And you can push it on that way as well. This is an old reel, so this reel is giving me troubles. I didn't bring my good reel with me. The ones that I have for my machine. There we go. That's better. So these are a little hard sometimes.
Yeah.
This reel's giving me problems. It doesn't want to go on because it's catching. Where is it catching? There we go. You can hear it going on. I'm using my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
But these are a pain in the ass. Okay? And you've got to make sure that there's no burrs inside them and that they're totally dry. Okay? And right there's where it's catching. I can see it there. And I can fix that with my finger. There we go. There, we're past that. Okay. Like I said, this reel is probably 20 years old. I have brand new ones that I'm using on my Filmomat. But you can see why I don't like these. My new ones work really, really great. I hate these.
Put the thing in the garbage and get out of head.
Yeah.
Huh?
Just get the knife out and stab.
Yeah, it makes me want to get my gun out and shoot somebody. Screw it. But buy new ones. Don't use old ones. These work way better.
Your own metal ones are fine.
Oh, these metal ones are wonderful. And
I have some metal ones.
And of the metal ones, there's metal ones, and then there's good metal ones. The good ones are the Hughes, Hewes. They're about $35 a reel. How much did you pay for them, Bobby?
That's about what I paid for it, I think.
Have you practiced?
Huh? No, I have not practiced yet.
All right, destroy a roll of film and start.
I did. I mean, I have one that I know I've marked it for my practice. The other ones I'm gonna wait until I get, more comfortable with everything.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. What else? We'll do questions now. What I wanted to do was show you the loading of those.
So how do you dry the film?
Pardon?
How do you dry your film?
I have film dryers.
I think you should tell that to Bobby, huh?
The best thing, Bobby, is your clips. We talked about the film clips.
I think we talked about film clips when we talked about negative holders, maybe.
Okay.
The things for the scanner.
All right. What I do is you can buy little not bobby pins, but clothespins.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is just put a wire hook over them and take them into a bathroom.
I got something that'll work. Yeah.
And you're going
to have cats.
Hang them over the shower curtain rod, but run the shower in the bathroom with the fan on for a few minutes, then turn the fan off and leave that shower running for a little while. And that shower will take the dust out of the air.
Okay.
Put it down the drain.
Yeah. And yes, Sherry, I have a cat.
So you got to be really careful with the cat hairs.
Right. The hairs. Even when we're framing stuff, we have to be very careful about hair because it gets everywhere. The little dust bunnies and stuff.
Yeah.
And another thing is during the absolute last 30-second final rinse with the photo flow, that must be distilled water. It has to be distilled.
Yeah. You told me that. I got 4 gallons of that waiting for my
I would use distilled water also for your chemistry, but you don't have to.
No, I think, the reason that I was planning on doing it is because our water is really, really heavily chlorinated here.
Okay, yeah. Distilled water.
I just figured there might be some interaction with, how heavy that water is and all that stuff. So
you're absolutely right. You can buy film clips. Let me share my screen again.
Isn't there kind of a drying bag or something?
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Mark, I'd been holding off on doing really any kind of developing stuff yet.
Yeah.
Because I knew we were going to try to do, not a hangout, but we were going to try to get together at some point when your schedule's not as crazy. So we could run through the whole, the mixing of the chemistry, the whole thing, so that, I had a pretty good handle on it.
Okay, can you see this?
Your screen?
Google?
Yeah.
All right. Let me go here to...
So I YouTube some stuff too on developing, but
let's see here. Here you go. You can buy stainless steel sets.
Yeah.
You can buy plastic sets. You can buy these little stainless steel sets.
Yeah, but won't a clothespin work just as good?
A clothespin will work as long as it's strong, but you're going to have to put some sort of a hanger on the end of it to hang.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Like a weight?
It has to have a hook.
A hook to go over your shower rod.
Okay.
You have to put a hanger on your shower rod to hang the clothespin on.
Yes. Yeah. Here, see how this has a hook on the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let me show you about commercial film dryers. Hey, you can buy machines. Here's one. I have one of the. Wow.
$39, a best offer, huh?
Wow.
Send it to me.
Oh my goodness, that's a great deal. The thing about this one, he's got it going through a stool. But let's see if there's a different view of it. It can be heated or cool. It's got a timer. And the Hughes film reels will go up inside this tube here. Okay, and then you turn it on, and there's a filter here. It's not a very good filter. And it will blow the cold or the warm air through the film, drying it.
Where is he located?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Well, he can keep it.
And they are heavy. Then let's see what. Okay, here's somebody that's made a phone booth film dryer.
Oh, wow.
But Jimmy can make one of these out of wood.
Sure he can.
Okay.
She wants to do her film work soon, not later.
You just put it in a wooden box and make the top to the bottom about a foot longer than the 120 film length. Okay.
Can you make it out of plexiglass?
You can make it out of wood, plexiglass. You can use plastic bags.
Just something so that the cats don't get near. Because I know if I hang it over the shower and that door is not closed, my cat's going to think it's a toy for her.
Yeah. And then on the top of this, Jimmy, is Jimmy there?
He's here.
You put an electric fan with a speed control on it. And then you put a really
getting the stink eye right now, Mark.
you put a really good filter on top of that.
You know.
2 of them, James. Jimmy?
Well, I'm not talking furnace filters here. I'm talking like a HEPA vacuum cleaner filter.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, see, you can buy one of these and hang in your wooden box. See this?
That is fancy.
Can you put that in one of those,
I actually think our shower.
what do you call it? One of those,
way up.
where you keep plants. What do you call those things? And I have one.
What?
Where you keep plants.
A terrarium?
No. Outside, you want to grow plants. What do you?
A greenhouse?
Huh?
A greenhouse?
Yeah, sort of like that. You've got the plastic cover on it. You just keep the top open, keep it open, and let it dry.
No.
I think, well, as exciting as all this is, I think I'm okay with the shower and the clips method.
The filters are important.
Okay.
Okay. And if you start getting spots all over your film, there are all kinds of small tabletop film dryers.
Okay, show me one.
Well, I'm not seeing any here right now.
Google it.
No,
not you. I'm going to Google it. Tabletop film dryer.
Well, this one's in Cincinnati, the $40 one. So I have a cousin who lives there. It'd be a good reason to go up there and pick it up.
Yeah, I have what's known as a Mistral film dryer. It has
Is that what you said?
Mistral. Mistral.
Okay, so
with the consonants.
I was like, man, you could market that for a lot more than what you're doing. Shut up.
So I'm showing a couple of them, but it's not under what you had.
Here's somebody that built one, and it's showing his plans. Okay.
Wow.
He built a big one. See, but he's doing 35 millimeter film, and 35 millimeter film's long. Okay. 120 isn't.
You remember the ones that you put the film through to dry it?
Oh, you don't do that now.
I know, but they have them on eBay.
Yeah, here's what I use. I use the Mistral film dryer.
Mistral?
See it?
See, it's got plastic. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, but the top unit has a heater and a fan in it,
That's what I said. You cut out the top and you use that plastic. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, this is boat window plastic. Okay.
Print dryer.
Yeah. So I mean, see, you can buy just the top unit. You can buy. They call this the cabinet, even though it's made out of. I've got one of these in my shop, and they're real tall. See. They really don't take up any room, and they work really good. I leave mine on 24 hours a day. Once a year.
They're called what?
Mistral. MISTRAL. #2 film dryer.
There it is. Cabinet.
Okay.
Okay.
They're really hard to locate. They're very popular. And then there are some others that are very inexpensive that'll do one reel at a time. Let's see if we can find those. Videos, agitating, how to make your own film dryer, images of film dryer, more images. Okay, look at all these film dryers. Cool. I have something that looks like little blenders. Let's see if they've got these in here. Oh, there they are. Clean Dry film dryer. Has a little electric motor and a heater down here, and it has, this goes in the bottom. It's one of those the second moisture cans that removes moisture from the air, and then the reel of film goes in on top of that, and then the lid goes on top, and you turn it on, and it filters and dries the film with clean air. I've actually got 2 of these. Why I have 2 is beyond me. I kind of collect this stuff.
That's why you have 2.
But they're all usable. Okay. But like I said, this stuff's easy to build. You know, just you could even find
I think Jimmy might get offline if you keep talking about building.
But you can hang them, and you can hang them. There's that other thing that they had in Ohio, right there. See how the end of it, you can put the film reel right inside there, and then it has this little clip that holds it in. All right, and this will take about 6 film reels inside of it. All right.
It's a good thing I have a second bathroom.
But like I said, I don't. If most people say that the bathroom works very good, Bobby.
Yeah.
All right. But I don't use the bathroom because I had cats. I don't have cats anymore. Now I have a doggy, and she sheds hair. There it is again.
Yep.
All right. So I have the Mistral, and I have 2 of these.
Yep.
And I used one of these just the other day just to test it, and it worked great.
How long is the film?
How long would you say a roll of 120 is?
It is, hold on. Where did it go? It's about this long.
So something that's
for the yard.
So 6 foot long would cover that.
Oh, 6 foot longs would be way too big.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing that if you did 3.5 or 4 feet, is you have to have a clip at the top and you have to have a clip at the bottom, because if you don't put a weight at the bottom, guess what happens?
Rolled up.
Yep.
Okay. And it's better to dry your film this way than it is to dry it this way.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So,
But you need a clip at the top and you need a clip at the bottom because you got to be held straight.
yep.
All right. And like I said, if you get into this, I mean, use your bathroom for now. Unless Jimmy's feeling really, really loving and caring and a dutiful husband.
Oh.
I've lost that love and feeling a long time ago.
Mr. Romance here probably is not going to build that for me. Not high on the list of things.
She has a different honey builder.
Okay. Just like I said, close the door of the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on the fan.
Dark, it doesn't have to be dark.
No, it's already
Just something to
developed
hold
film.
it.
Yeah, you just need something to dry it.
Turn on the shower. And after the shower is run for 5 or 6 minutes, turn the fan off because the fan's going to suck air in under the door anyways. And then let it run for another 5 or 6 minutes and then just hang your film in there.
Yeah.
So would a butt fan work in there, like a bathroom butt fan? Like if I build a box, you know, the fan that's in your bathroom. So if you put a fan on it.
Yeah, but that's even too much. You know those little black 12-volt fans you can buy like at Radio Shack?
Yeah.
Just some sleazy little fan that's no more big around than this.
Sleazy.
Yeah,
And you need to blow it, and it needs to be blowing into the box. Like if I were to build a box, it would need to blow into the box.
Yes.
From the top to the bottom.
Top to the bottom. And that means the bottom has to have an air outlet. Okay.
And that's where you need a filter, right?
No, the filter's got to go on the top.
Filter's got to go over the fan.
Yes, and it needs to be a really good tight fitting filter. Not furnace filters. Those aren't nearly good enough. I went to Lowe's and found some sort of a really weird HEPA filter. And I just duct taped it to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good enough. And you don't need a lot of airflow, Jimmy. You just need a little bit.
Our showers.
Yeah, for now and then.
Right.
Once you get into
Instead
it,
of
we can look at them.
Yeah.
So just keep the fan on in the bathroom, basically.
If you build a 3x3 or 2x2, and then 4 foot tall, you could have a foot between the fan and the film, and
Yeah, because if you mount the fan on the inside, then that gives you a really flat surface to tape the filter to up on top.
yeah, I was just thinking about you just mount it, just basically cut a hole in the box and just attach it to the center of the box.
Yep. And like I said, you don't want a lot of air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's not necessary.
Okay.
Is when I dry the film, even in my Mistral, it dries overnight. I leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, obviously, it doesn't take that long to dry. And like I said, most people that do it at home just use their shower.
Yeah, that's probably what I will end up doing here. Mm-hmm.
All right, and like I said, just hang it over the shower rod with a clip on the top and a clip on the bottom to hold the film straight.
Right. Okie dokie.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it for today.
That hanger thing that had the clips on it for $17 looks like it'll work really well over the shower.
Yeah. They make, believe it or not, clothespins with shower hangers on them.
Hmm.
I wonder if the belt hangers would work, with the, the pants you got the clip, you could do two rolls of film, and you just clip a You put a hanger up, clip
Yeah.
it. You just clip one of those upside down, and it's just enough weight to hold it.
Yeah.
Well, how about the pants hangers?
That's what I was
That's
talking
what he's
about.
talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just clip the film into the pants hanger clips.
Right.
And then you can put one of those. You can put a second one on the bottom for the weight.
Right.
Well, no, that might be too much weight. I would just put a
Clothespin?
clothespin on the bottom. Yeah, you don't want to pull the film out of the top ones.
Right.
Okay.
So, but basically, you could just take it. We have a rain head in our shower stall. So it's tile all the way up, and there's open at the top, like an open vent area kind of a thing. So you could turn the fan on in there, turn the shower on for a while, do all of that. But you could basically just hang that hanger from the rain head.
Yeah.
And you would be fine.
As long as the film doesn't touch the wall.
Right, of course. No, there's plenty of space in that, shower stall. It's very deep.
And remember to turn the fan off.
Right.
When you film in.
Right.
Because that fan is still sucking air through the bottom of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And remember that quick dryer that I showed you too. I found those for about $40 on eBay every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Something you kind of got to look out for, I would guess.
Yeah, you got to be looking for them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But the shower will work. I mean,
Yeah.
it will.
I mean, to do what I'm going to do with it for now, I'm not talking about mass production of rolls of film. So.
And remember, you're going to be doing wet mount scanning, which is going to clean the film too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotcha.
And what printer will we put that on?
What?
For the wet mount scan.
Oh,
the scanner, I mean. Would you put that on?
A 700 or a 750 or an 800 or an 850.
Okay.
And that's if you want to do your own scanning. If you're going to use a commercial developer, you can have them do high res scans for you too, but I'm not sure what those will cost.
Yeah, because sometimes they will scan them for you for sure.
Yeah, but you need high res scans.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to use when I stopped doing it myself and I'm still shooting film, I took it to this one place where they did that for me. Yeah. And they developed it and scanned it.
Yeah, most people are charging $20 per frame of high res scanning.
Really? It's gone up that much, huh?
Well, it was that 20 years ago.
Well, the place I went to wasn't quite that expensive.
Yeah, well, I'm talking seriously high res, like 4,000 DPI.
Well, that's what they were doing. That's what they specialized in, was film, doing up, scanning film and developing it.
Yeah. Bobby?
That was 8 years ago. So what do I know?
Oh, see, the last time I paid someone to scan for me was at least 20 years ago.
It might have been 10 years ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, because how long have I been away from that area, Yeah.
Of course, now I'm going to be down there, Bobby, in October.
Right.
And we can refine your processes from end to end. But I think we'll have to do some sort of a hangout. On your wet mounts.
And that's the part that's going to be interesting.
There are some really good videos online showing that.
I will.
Have you found them?
Oh yeah, I've seen those too.
Okay, it's really easy.
It didn't look bad, but I have the scanner, of course, is just sitting there in the box waiting for me to open it all up and everything. But again, I kind of wanted to, go through the process, like you said, with you. And, sometimes there's tips and tricks that I don't necessarily pick up from a video as I do from in person.
If you guys want to take a weekend trip, we can do it up here where I can really teach you.
Right.
If I taught Michael,
Yeah.
and I taught Jimmy's friend how to wet mount scan.
Jimmy's friend.
Who? Terry?
Terry.
How is Terry?
He's good.
Tell him I said hi.
Oh, well. He's good. He's hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
He finally got out of the Arcanum.
Did he?
He's out altogether.
He was so frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just hung in there and hung in there, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just getting livid with what's his face. I just finally said, I can't deal with that personality either, so I left.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your schedule like in September, Mark?
September.
How bad is that?
Let's look at September here. July, August, September. Okay,
Kids
September.
should be going back to school, so you won't have to worry about games, baseball games.
I have a workshop the last weekend of September at Lower Cape Fear, and the rest of the month I actually think I'm open.
How bad are the bugs and the weather there in September?
They're less.
They're
They're less.
Not like here.
Mm-mm.
All right, we'll look at sometime in September.
Yeah, it would. I'm going to California that first week of August, and then in October I'm coming down to your house. So if we could do it in September and then do it again in October, that would really reinforce it.
All right.
And don't forget, we're planning something in the spring in Yosemite all the way down to Alabama Hills.
Yes.
This way.
We're going to be out in the spring because of our son's wedding.
Where's he having the wedding?
Here in Tallahassee.
In March.
Well, we can do it in April because March it might be snowy in Yosemite anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it because we'll have next year's our big anniversary too. So
come out here for your big anniversary.
Yeah, you don't want to go to a hotel with round bathtubs.
Nah, come out here and we'll do the you guys. We're gonna do I want to do Mono Lake. Do you know what Mono Lake is?
my dad has a place up in Syed Valley. We could crash.
Okay. And then you guys can go to San Francisco afterwards and have a romantic weekend and then say that was your anniversary.
There's nothing in San Francisco I want to see.
Oh, stop.
Oh, there is. Oh my God, there is.
Oh, I will take you on a tour down for photographing through there. Don't worry about it.
Well, actually, the plans were to go over to either Iceland or Ireland or Scotland or something like that.
You still can do that.
We can't fight with Ireland or Scotland.
We don't get the vacation time that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ireland and Scotland. It's just too cool.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
And it's our 25th wedding anniversary.
Too much work.
Yeah.
Iceland, that is a brutalizing trip. It will brutalize you.
Okay, good to know.
I like it, but it'll brutalize you.
Yeah, but Ireland and Scotland, I'm something I've wanted to do for a long time.
All right, let me stop this broadcast here.
Yep.